Good morning, candidates. I already posted a group discussion topics. One topic I already posted today morning. Now I am going to read along with a candidate a group discussion number 2. So just I am waiting for the candidate to come and join us. Then we will read that group discussion. Yes. Abhirami, are you ready?
Yes,
Excuse
sir.
me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we are going to read this discussion. For example, the topic is government should promote ethanol blended petrol. Government should promote ethanol blended petrol. This is being recorded live now. So now I will read one candidate, you will read another candidate, like that. First, you start reading it. Now, please read candidate number 4. Please read.
Candidate number 4. As we know, ethanol is a very pure type of alcohol. It is a biofuel made from plant materials, usually corn, sugarcane, or other crops rich in sugars. Ethanol blending is mixing petrol with ethanol. In a world threatened with climate change, promoting ethanol blended petrol is an ideal solution. One, the dependency on fossil fuel is reduced, and two, there is lesser emission of carbon dioxide.
Very good. 1 minute. I'm making it slightly bigger. Yeah. Now, candidate number 7. Why are you wasting our time in telling us about basic facts like what is ethanol and where we get it from? We don't have so much time to waste it on things that even children know. Let us get straight to the point and talk about whether the government should promote ethanol blended petrol or not. Next.
Great. Well, number 4 was only introducing us to the topic, and he also pointed out the benefits of using ethanol blended petrol. But I would like to draw your attention to its challenges. Ethanol contains less energy per unit volume compared to petrol, which is due to its climate structure. As a result, it produces less energy than regular petrol when it's burned, which results in lower mileage.
Great. You know so much of chemistry, but we are going for banks. Tell us about the economic aspects.
Yes, I'm coming to that. I've already told you about the lower mileage. Besides, ethanol blended petrol is more expensive to produce. These costs include the transportation and storage of ethanol, as well as the cost of blending and testing the finished product. Lower mileage and higher cost make blended petrol less appealing to the customer, posing a challenge for its adoption as a regular petrol replacement.
I think ethanol blended petrol is an excellent idea on environmental grounds, but even on economic grounds, it is beneficial. The production of ethanol from agricultural crops stimulates economic growth in rural areas by providing farmers with a market for their produce. India achieved a historical milestone in ethanol supply year 2020-21 with 408 crore liters of ethanol, achieving a blending rate of 10.02%. To achieve 20% blending by 2025, ethanol production capacity needs to be expanded to 1,700 crore liters. Just imagine the benefit sugarcane farmers will reap. And moreover, there are no pending dues. Oil marketing companies pay the money in time.
Well, number 9 has told us about the challenges faced by ethanol blended petrol. Let me add another argument to this. Ethanol can be more hydroscopic than regular petrol. That is, it can absorb water more easily. This lead to corrosion in fuel tanks and other engine components. As we go on increasing the ethanol component, it could result in damage to some plastic, rubber, and aluminum components, and this could affect the durability of fuel pipes, injectors, and hoses. So, if E20 petrol is with 20% ethanol is available in the market, vehicle makers will be able to make changes in their engines and other components.
Well said, number 2. That is another major challenge in the way of ethanol blended petrol. Some of our friends are yet to share their views. Can we start with number 3? Number 3.
India launched pilot E20 or petrol blended with 20% ethanol at India Energy Week in Bengaluru. So we are already ahead of the target.
As part of its carbon reduction commitments, India has launched the ethanol blended petrol program to mix this biofuel with petrol to reduce the consumption of fossil fuel.
India imported 212 million tons of crude oil in 2020, 21, 2022 and spent $119 billion on this. And most of the petroleum products are used in transportation. So if E20 becomes successful, imagine the great benefit of our economy will reap. Besides, ethanol is a less polluting fuel and offers equivalent efficiency at lower cost than petrol. We have large tracts of available land, rising production of food grains and sugarcanes are leading surpluses. We can easily diverse to ethanol production. We also have technology available to produce ethanol from plant-based sources, and it is feasible to make vehicles compliant to ethanol blended petrol. With all these positives, the government should definitely give a push to ethanol blended petrol program.
Well, not everything is so positive. India would need to enhance the feedstock production to achieve its goal of blending 20% ethanol in petrol by 2025, which would require additional land. If domestic production does not rise, meeting the ethanol blending targets will require an increase in imports. Niti Aayog's roadmap for ethanol blending marked a shift in focus from prioritizing waste biomass to using food-based feedstocks to achieve the new blending target. Currently, the government is utilizing food grains from the central pool stocks to produce ethanol blended petrol. These food grains are procured from farmers at a minimum support price and are originally intended for distribution under different schemes to assist impoverished and vulnerable groups. However, utilizing these food grains for ethanol production diverts them from those most in need, exacerbating the country's hunger situation.
Well, it all depends on the customers. Only time will tell if this program will be successful.
Please continue.
Uh, If we go by indications so far, the program is going to be successful. Number two, your worries, if any, will soon be put to rest. No abnormal wear of engine components or deterioration of engine oils were observed after on-road mileage accumulation trials. Besides, vehicular emissions such as carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and oxides of nitrogen are currently under regulation in India, and the use of ethanol blended petrol decreases these emissions.
Also, the point made about reduced dependency on fossil fuels. Fossil fuels account for approximately 75% of India's energy demand, while the remaining share is fulfilled by biofuels derived from agricultural byproducts. In this context, policymakers see the utilization of biofuels as an opportunity to strategically reduce the country's dependence on imported fossil fuels.
It was a meaningful discussion, but time to wrap up now. We may conclude the ethanol blended petrol program is meaningfully intended. We have gone some way in that direction, but a number of challenges still remain. Lower mileage, higher cost, damage to hardware, and food security are some of the major aspects that we need to take care of. Only then we call the program successful.
Analysis of the discussion. Number one. Number one, excellent. Took some time to come into the discussion. But when he did, there was no stopping him because he was soundly armed with facts and figures. It is apparent he has been doing his preparation well. It is very important to read newspaper articles to have such a grip. Next.
Number two, excellent. He also took some time to come into the discussion, but he very cleverly started as a deputy for number nine. Soon, however, he put so much into the discussion that he too emerges as a leader in his own right and stakes a successful claim for selection.
Number three, the shy guy, the ignorant one, loses the opportunity offered on a platter, showed his inability to enter the discussion. But even when number nine comes as a blessing for him, he fails to convert the pass into a goal.
Number four, excellent, has an earlier mover advantage, introduces the subject well, and begins to put his arguments logically. Also knows well that speaking merely once is not enough, enters the discussion once again later, and also comes as a careful listener as he responds to number two.
Number five, like number three, he is an ineffective speaker and fails to cash in on the opportunity offered. What he speaks sounds more like a news bulletin telecast to make people aware of the achievements of the government.
Number six, good. Haven't put him in excellent category because he waited to be given a chance, but he needs to be praised for having spoken well. In that one round of speaking, he put in nearly all his points in an effective manner. May stand a chance to be selected.
Number seven, just avoid him. He is one of those who hold very high opinion of themselves. Speaks about as much as number four, who he thinks is wasting time. Does in first round. Speaks about as much as number four does in the first round. Does not take the discussion forward. Something he seems to be so concerned about. And then never gets into the discussion later on.
Number eight, ineffective and prone not to make decisions. He is unwilling to speak even a few meaningful sentences. Perfect case for rejection.
Number nine, excellent. Clearly emerges as the leader of the group. Every time he enters the discussion, he shows a new leadership trait. Although he opposes number four, he shows him due politeness and he puts number four, seven gently in his place. He does not get agitated by what number 10 says. He shows the grace to allow others to speak and concludes well.
Number 10, another guy unfit for GD. Not clear if he's joking or serious. Simply fails to make any impression upon the selectors.
That's all. Thank you. Thank you so much. This was a group discussion given in our bank, Banking Service Chronicle January issue. And this will be of use for State Bank of India PO as well as our South Indian Bank PO when they come for, say, discussion. Now, let me